That's the wrong one. Hey there guys, this is Rebecca and I am here with another bullet journal video today. I'm actually today going to show you how I bullet journal at work. It's a very different system from what I do for my personal bullet journal, starting with the notebook itself. Everything I'm going to show you today is a simulation. I have a desk job where I mostly do like quotes and some like contract stuff. I'm a contracts administrator. And I'm, in a desk-bound job, so my work bullet journal stays at work. And so I use this composition notebook. I don't use this composition notebook. I use a composition notebook, and this is just one that I'm going to show you for an example. I'm going to do it in the middle spread so that I can rip it out later and maybe use this for something else. But it's got lots of sort of real estate, and I keep this on the desk sort of in front of me all day. And I just use a weekly spread. And there's not really a lot to the bullet journal as a whole. It does have like an index, a future log. I do keep track of my PTO hours in there, but a lot of the other reference things that I could include just stay on sticky notes on my desk or under the little plastic protector on my desk, so that everything is like visible without having to turn pages. And I just leave this open all week, and it's got everything there. So I'm going to show you kind of how I do that. Again, everything's a simulation. So at work I have Papermate flares that I use because that's what we had. But here at home I'm going to show you using my Stabilo fine liners because that's what I have here at home. And then I also at work have just a set of sort of assorted highlighters, and since I don't have a full set of highlighters at home, I'm going to be using my friction color to show you what I'm doing with that. So every week, about Thursday or Friday, I set up for the next week. And let me show you how that's done. So I set up a time tracker here along the side. It's not always the tidiest. And so each column is for one day of the week. And each box is for 15 minutes of the day. So I'll block off here between 11:30 and 12:30 when I go to lunch. And then I fill this in with my highlighters as I go along throughout the day. So doing, my inbox stuff, maybe working on some quotes. Some office maintenance-y things, some billing, and then check my email again. So I do that through the whole week just to sort of keep me accountable and make sure that it keeps me like doing something. Every 15 minutes I have to, think, oh, what have I gotten done, and am I working at the right speed? It also helps me to figure out how long different tasks take me. Before I was doing this, I didn't really know, how long it would take me to set up like a service plan. But now, like, I know that it takes me about half an hour or less, and that's valuable data, right? Next, I set up my waiting on. And this is where I keep track of things that I have asked people to do for me, things that I need paperwork from a customer or from another coworker before I can move on and do anything here. So that's basically just my on deck in case I, just so that I don't forget anything that is waiting for somebody else to get back to me. Next, I have a section for next week. And here's where I kind of pay attention to my horizon, the things that I'm going to need to do next week that I didn't have to do this week. There are certain tasks that I have every single week, and other tasks like, say, next week I'm going to be, going on PTO for Friday, so I need to send out an email to the other employees to let them know that, and I need to set up my voicemail before Labor Day. So I would put that here. And then finally, this section is for PTO. I am the front desk person, so whenever anybody calls in asking for somebody, I need to know whether they are available or not, because if they're not available, obviously I want to transfer them to a different person. These names are not real either. You'll see go ahead. I think I did that in the wrong color. This is supposed to be red, but I do each day of the week in a different color. And this is for my color coding purposes. You'll see that as I move on, but this is where I have the days of the week here, and then I just sort of mark a line for if they are not in the office. Pretty simple. The next section is just labeled to do, and this is basically anything that doesn't fall under my main sections over here. So these will be the things that I have to do every week, the things that I have to do that week. Say, if I have to, make a certain phone call to a vendor, or if I have to, it's mostly like office things that I have to do around the office rather than things that I have to do for customers, but it can also be things for customers. Basically anything that doesn't fall under here. And so I will use that color code, and it's just a rainbow. Red, yellow, green, blue, purple for Monday through Friday. If I know it ahead of time, like I set up my weekly tasks at the beginning of the week, and I will write those in the color that they need, of the day that they need to be done on. So there's a certain task that's done every single day, and I'll write it in all of these colors, and then I'll cross it off when it gets there. Otherwise, I'm using only one of these pens per day. Once it's set up, I'm using one pen per day, and I will show you how I do that over here. So this first column on this side is for quotes. That's one big half of what I do at work. And anything that is rolled over from the previous week, I'll write in black. So for example, I put like the region and then the initials of the person who asked for it, then the name of the company, and then whether it's a contract or billable. Right? So black means that it came up last week or the week before, whenever, probably last week, and I didn't get to it on Friday, so it's, first up when the week comes. And then, I start on Monday, and maybe I get that done. And I'm using this red pen because red is for Monday. Maybe I get that done. That's great. I also get, quotes that come in. And then if I get it done that day, I'll still cross it off in red. Then maybe I don't get that done, this one done that same day, so then I'll cross it off in yellow if I get it done on Tuesday, right? The same thing applies to the next column here. we call it billing, but it's really just entering contracts into the service plan. I tend to have a lot more rollover with this one because sometimes people send in POs like early, so something is, you know, doesn't renew for another month, but I have the PO already. It's going to get pushed back in my to-do list because people are also sending late POs for contracts that renewed a month ago, and those have to take priority. So those I just enter company name and then the date that they that the contract starts or renews. And then I have a column here because at the end of the week I need to send a report to my supervisor saying which, you know, how many of these I got done and how many I have left over. So I get it done and I will mark off also the number of the service plan in the system so that she can reference it if she needs to. If I have to edit a quote that I've already created, I enter it this way. Instead of putting all of this information about, you know, where it came from and what kind it is, I just put the name of the company and the quote number, and then that will tell me where it is, and also is a quick way to know that I'm not creating a new thing, I'm editing something. So I definitely have to check my email inbox because that'll tell me what I have to change. So I just carry on my week like that, changing colors every morning, and so that I definitely know what day I wrote something down. And so if I go back and I'm, you know, going through previous weeks, I can tell when something came up, because if it's in black, I know that it didn't come up that week, so I keep flipping. And if it's in green, I'll go like, oh, it came in on Wednesday of this week, and then I can check here. And I'm trying to get in the habit of writing the month over here next to the date so that I don't have to figure that out. So this is where I keep the dates. Mostly during the week I know what day it is, and so I don't have it really marked anywhere more prominent than that. And so yeah, these are the dates of this month, and then green means Wednesday, blue means Thursday, and that's how I use color coding at work. It works for me because I don't have to pull out multiple pens for different kinds of tasks. Like I could also do color coding where all of the quote tasks are in green and all of the billing tasks are in blue, and I write them in the same list. That's another way you can color code, right? But that also involves like multiple pens, and I really like just sticking to one color per day, and then that just makes it really visually quick for me to know how long it's taking me to get something done. It helps me to prioritize, because I know that, you know, if something is in black, that means it didn't get done last week and I need to do it sooner this week. If something is in, you know, yellow and it's Friday, I'm like, okay, that means I'm probably waiting on something. Maybe I should move it over here, because if I haven't gotten to it yet, you know, either that's a problem or it probably doesn't belong in this list. It needs to be moved to the waiting section. So it's pretty simple. That's pretty much what I do in my work bullet journal, and these composition notebooks have like lots and lots of pages. I started the notebook I'm currently in around the end of October 2016, and now August 2017. I am just past the midway point, so it's going to last me for a while, and I'll probably stick with this system because it works for me, and it makes me, I think, a more productive employee, and that's always a good thing. So I hope this had some ideas for you, some, inspiration, or just if you were curious on how I bullet journal at work. I do keep it separate from my personal bullet journal because I like to make that a lot more creative and interesting and colorful, and this is just all about productivity, and it works really well for that. I'm really glad I found the system and that I found a way to make it work for what I have at my office. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, go ahead and subscribe and like the video, and please comment. I love it when you comment. I will be posting a new bullet journal video every Thursday, and also videos on Monday and Saturday, so stay tuned and I will see you then. Bye.